concept of cloning is controversial and has developed much debate. Both sides bring convincing arguments to the table, but who is correct? Let's see what the pros have to say about this.
Well, cloning will help us save endangered species, as well as revive extinct species that were lost forever. It will also help us replicate useful animals such as seeing eye dogs and search and rescue dogs who possess the similar traits that will make training them much easier.
That's preposterous.
And what do the cons have to say about the pros' views?
Well, it defies the laws of nature. I mean, humans aren't God. They can't create individuals out of nowhere. So to create an individual by cloning them, that's just unethical. It's unheard of.
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
And what else do the cons have to add to this process?
Well, cloning is such an iffy process. At best, the success rates are 50-1, meaning that for every run, only one individual survives. I mean, the risks outweigh the benefits here.
Thank you.
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
Let's see what the pros have to say about the cons' comments.
Well, since cloning is such an inexact science, the more reason for us to do more research and further investigate this process. It will allow us to increase our chances and better the odds of creating a perfect clone.
Thank you.
That's preposterous.
Let's see what else the pros have to add to this discussion.
Well, with the cloning technology, single adults, as well as infertile couples, will be able to have babies. Also, you might be able to be reunited with your brother or your mother that you lost in an accident.
That's preposterous.
And what do the cons have to say about the pros' comments?
Well, I think they're preposterous because you can't go out and you can't create yourself within yourself. You can't give birth to yourself. You can't give birth to your mother. It just goes out of the way. It's disgusting, quite frankly.
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
What else do the cons have to add to this?
Well, basically, cloning decreases the rate of genetic diversity. In normal conception, two strands of DNA come together to create one. However, in cloning, it's only one strand of DNA, and that creates like an exact individual with the exact same DNA. So this will lead to inevitable incest amongst people, which will create offspring with diseases and mutations and whatnot.
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
And what do the pros have to say about the cons' comments?
Well, as the cloning technology advances, we'll be able to extract certain parts of DNA from one person and other parts from another to create a whole new organism. Although this is still called cloning, it creates biodiversity, as we call it.
That's preposterous.
What else do the pros have to add to this conversation?
Well, with cloning, and as well as stem cell research, we will be able to grow organs such as hearts and livers for use for transplant for people with heart disease and liver failure such as that. With cloning, we will also be able to cure terminal diseases such as cancer, and it will also help us prolong our lifespan.
Thank you.
That's preposterous.
And what do the cons have to say about the pros' comments?
Well, by regrowing organs and whatnot, you're basically denying the other clone's life. Because you can't take organs from one clone and give them to the other real person, because that clone's a person now too. So it creates a big ethical dilemma.
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
And what do the cons have to add to this?
Well, by cloning people, we're actually crossing a line that is set in science fiction movies. And that line is that we're manufacturing people, and we're basically turning ourselves into one big assembly line.
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
And what do you have to say about the cons' comments?
Well, basically, cloning people is no different than giving birth to like twins. Therefore, there's nothing morally or ethically wrong about that. It's just helping the process along.
That's preposterous.
Do you have any final comments?
Yes. Cloning is the way of the future. You gotta support cloning to cure the diseases and be able to see your loved ones again.
And what do the cons have to say in the final statement?
Cloning is ethically and morally wrong. By supporting this, you're condoning incest amongst people. which is agreeing to the destruction and mutilation of our society and many countless individuals.
Bye guys, see ya!
See ya.
Huh? Bye!